this board meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call.
Mrs. Spanis-Clemens,
Here.
Mrs. Cullen,
Here.
Mrs. Dolan,
Here.
Ms. Kildare,
Here.
Mr. Kraus,
Here.
Mr. Rice,
Here.
Ms. Thompson,
Here.
Mrs. Walters,
Here.
Dr. Yarnell.
Here.
Okay, next up is public comment. Mr. Foster. Hold on. The Pembroke School Board welcomes public comment. According to policy 903, we remind everyone of the following. Public comment shall be limited to 3 minutes unless otherwise specified by the board. Participants must be recognized by the presiding officer and note their name and municipality. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer rather than to individual board members, district employees, or members of the public. A speaker may speak once during each public comment period. Please note that these sessions are designated for comments to protect the confidentiality and privacy rights of all members of our community. The board encourages members of the public to direct any comments regarding particular individuals, such as students or district employees, privately to the superintendent or other appropriate administrators or board members, or to communicate with the board and superintendent privately by sending an email to psdschoolboard@penridge.org. Questions raised and not addressed may be followed up at a later time. Typically, I'll wait until everyone has commented or asked their questions, and then I'll respond at the end. Thanks. Go ahead, Mr. Foster.
Thank you. So my public comment is related to, I actually went to attend the last couple of board meetings and I missed out first day of school and I had some travel for work, but I wanted to just address something that I did and it was kind of a learning experience for me really, which was around, I was really excited when the vacancies on the board opened up and I had heard that there were 14 applicants for those vacancies. And that means 14 people in the community thought it was valuable enough that they wanted to participate in running the district. So I thought that, that's excellent. So I was really curious to see kind of how that would play out and how those candidates would be interviewed or vetted to determine who would be the best fit for the board. So I was curious, who are those people? And I guess, I didn't go back and watch the videos or read the minutes from previous situations that have happened in the past, but talked to some folks and realized that some previous candidates or applicants for open board seats were interviewed in public. And I thought that was a really awesome example of transparency, and I had hoped that this board would do the same. Nonetheless, it didn't work out that way. So I did a little research and found out that you can submit what's called an RTK, which is a right to know request, to the district to find out information. So I submitted one just to find out who those 14 people were. Because I was really curious, one, are they my neighbors, live close to me, the folks that I know or other people may know that are interested in participating in the Pembroke School Board. So I put that in and I got it back, and thanks to the district for responding in kind with the information. But I released two of our two new board members. I thought it was pertinent for the community to know the experience and the resumes that were submitted for those folks that are on the board. So I did do that, and then on social media, I got a little bit of a challenge around, hey, not the whole thing was released, and this is me trying to multitask at work, taking screenshots, trying to send them so the community can be aware as to who's running their district. So after I did that, I said, I got a good idea for a public comment tonight. why doesn't the board, if they have concerns with what I released, you guys tonight can just introduce a motion to release all 14. So if you wanted, I think that would be really pertinent and really informative for the community to know, who applied to those open positions and what are their credentials. Instead of having, some guy who's a resident and a constituent putting in an RTK request trying to figure out, who applied and what their credentials were. So I'd love to see, in the spirit of transparency, which I've heard from this board is really important, to have you guys release those names and who applied for those roles. I think it'd be really interesting for the community to know. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Okay, seeing none. Mr. Ferry actually did a really great introduction to our two new board members, and you can read that on our website. It's still linked to the main website, so you can learn about the two people who were appointed to the board. You already have the information of all of those people, as you noted, so I don't know that there could be any more questions. The board members, the board, what we did was we took the interview questions that have been asked publicly in prior situations, and we gave them to all of the applicants in advance so that they had time to think about the questions and formulate their answers and submit them to us in writing. That gave them more of a chance to share their perspectives, and the board members more of a chance to go through all of that information and decide who they thought was most qualified. So thank you. Next on the agenda is the approval of the consent calendar. I have a motion to approve the consent calendar, items A through H. So moved. Moved by Mrs. Cullen. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mrs. Walters. Questions or comments from board members? Oh, sorry. Seconded by Ms. Thompson. Questions or comments from board members? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion passes 9-0. Next up is the student liaison report.
The student council just had two wonderful events. We volunteered at the Gallery of the Arts in the middle of Percy, and it was a wonderful event. Got a great turnout. We just had pink out during the football game. We sold shirts. We raised a lot of money. I'm not sure how much we've raised so far, but we'll know in the coming weeks. In the upcoming weeks, we will have homecoming, and our theme is the Wizard of Oz. So we will be having the parade, and we'll be having a float on there for the Wizard of Oz. The class picnics were supposed to be this week, but because of rain, they were canceled. So we'll have them next week. So a lot of exciting stuff coming up for this upcoming year.
Thank you. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the President's Report. I just had one thing that I wanted to talk about tonight. Since our last board meeting, we have announced that a tentative 5-year agreement has been reached with the Penridge Education Association. The PEA ratified the agreement with overwhelming support, and we will be voting on it this evening. A great deal of time, effort, and thoughtfulness was dedicated to this process by the board, PEA leadership, and the administration. I would like to personally thank fellow board members, Dr. Peter Yarnell and Mrs. Joan Cullen, our superintendent, and our entire cabinet, especially Mr. Dalbert, as well as Jim Valletta, Tim Dios, Jane Phillips, Jennifer May, and Bob Silver, and their representative, Dustin Mott. Our attorneys, Brian Cassidy and John Nadler from Eckert Siemens. We spent many long days and countless hours in meetings all through the summer, so I greatly appreciate all the time all of those people spent on this process. The good faith effort is a testament to the commitment of all involved to the success of our students here at Penn Ridge. This agreement highlights our ability and commitment to being fair to our teachers and our taxpayers at the same time. The long term of this agreement fits right in with our 6-year capital projects plan, providing stability and long-term fiscal management to the district while also assuring that financial stability to our teachers. The combination allows us to offer fair salary increases to the people working hands-on to educate our students without raising taxes or borrowing money for the foreseeable future. Some insurance offsets are in place that will carry over to the administration, as well as a prescription drug plan that offers better benefits to our teachers at a lower cost to the district. In addition to the financial piece, this agreement focuses on ways to improve support for our teachers in the classroom. Teachers at the elementary level will receive 25 minutes of planning, an additional 25 minutes of planning time, which is dispersed more equitably, allowing for an additional special for elementary students. This is also more in line with the secondary level. Student success is directly correlated to highly qualified teachers. With that in mind, a common theme in this agreement is prioritizing professional development and optimizing that time to provide the greatest benefit to our teachers and in turn our students. As with any negotiation, both sides have to give a little. Teachers were looking to have the ability to take advantage of some online opportunities in their coursework, and the administration wanted to limit options to accredited universities. The compromise is a vetted list of universities as well as a 1-year employment requirement following any courses in order to qualify for the reimbursement. A few other highlights are incentivizing teaching a 6th section, which can reduce class sizes, and earlier retirement announcements to help the district plan more accurately for the budget and class sizes. Thank you again to everyone involved. It's a fair contract, and I'm excited to vote on it tonight. Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Ms. Clemens. First of all, I want to thank parents, students, teachers, staff, the administration, and the school board for a successful start to the school year. I love September and the positive energy that it brings when you're around all of the new things that happen in school, whether it be the students or the teachers and all the training opportunities. My favorite part of this job is being in the classrooms, and that's what September allows us to do, and getting to see the real work that happens and the most important work that happens in the school district. I've also enjoyed experiencing the community of Penn Ridge through the many activities that have been taking place. I've said it before, but I continue to be impressed by the community that supports, the parents, the companies, and the other organizations that give to our school events. One simple example was the Bedminster Mud Run, that if truth be told, Ms. Baines-Clemens enjoyed it a little too much. But other than that, it involved participation from parents, teachers, the Plumstead Fire Company, the Tractor Supply Store, the Stone Depot, and Hellerich Farm. That's an unusual list for our school events, and we often get to enjoy those events, but I wanted to also take time to appreciate the teamwork it takes to pull them off for our students and our families. My two main purposes for my superintendent's reports are going to continue to highlight student and staff celebrations, but also to provide an overview of instructional items for the community. Let me start with some student items. While many of the classmates spent their summer working or vacationing at the shore, junior Henry Leopold was halfway around the world, studying the Arabic language and immersing himself in the culture of Morocco. As far as we can tell through our investigation, Henry is the first Penn Ridge student ever to participate in the National Security Language Initiative for Youth, which is a United States State Department program. There were only 200 students chosen from over 3,300 applicants, and only 24 of them had the opportunity to go to Morocco. The aim of the program is to encourage students to learn a language that our country needs for security and diplomacy. Ultimately, these students will be able to act as citizen ambassadors on behalf of the United States government. During his 6 weeks in Morocco, Henry spent up to 6 hours a day studying Arabic and participating in civic and cultural projects, including visiting a refugee camp. As part of the group of these 24 students in Morocco, they traveled to Tangier, Marrakesh, Casablanca, and other cities. The group also traveled to a small town near the Sahara where they got to ride camels for more than an hour into the desert to sleep in the Sahara for a night. Henry said that was actually fun. At the conclusion of his classes, Henry made a 5-minute presentation completely in Arabic and in full native dress. He learned firsthand the power of language to create bonds of friendship, respect, and understanding across cultures. This experience has fueled Henry's interest in language and history, and he hopes that he can apply some of what he experienced to his AP World History class this year. Henry wasn't the only high school student to make good use of his time off during the summer. We also had 21 students who got to participate in the Pennsylvania Free Enterprise Week. It was our largest contingent in recent years and earned the school membership in the Distinguished Platinum Club. During Free Enterprise Week, incoming high school juniors and seniors get to experience a unique and challenging opportunity to see what it is like to run their own business. Participants create a management team whose task is turning their failing company into a financial success. They develop a marketing strategy, design a website, and in essence get to make all the decisions that are demanded of a real-life company executive. Please be watching our website in the near future for a story and a listing of those students who got to participate. Sticking with the theme of summer and recognizing some of our elementary school students, we had 4 students from West Rock Hill who successfully completed the Bucks County Free Library Summer Quest, which included 12 different activities through the month of July and August, including reading different kinds of books, writing poetry, writing a letter, watching a movie, and creating a game. I would now like to highlight a program at the high school and would invite Mr. Scott Ware, who is one of our special education supervisors, who is going to come and introduce the teacher and the students he'll be presenting this evening. Mr. Ware?
Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Bolton. My name is Scott Ware. I'm the high school special education supervisor. We are very proud of our life skills program at the high school. The students in the classroom range in age as our program includes grades 9 through 12, but students have the opportunity to participate until 21 years of age. Christine Fennell is our high school life skills teacher, and this is her 2nd year in this role. This is Mrs. Fennell's 9th year as a teacher at Penridge School District. Mrs. Fennell will be sharing a little bit about her program, and then some of her students will share some of their experiences in the life skills classroom.
Hi. So in the life skills program, we work on both the functional academics as well as living skills. We practice telling time on a clock to help follow the schedule. We work on counting money to practice dealing with customers and budgets. We also practice reading skills, following directions. These skills are important to practice because we use them in some of the jobs we do at school. For example, we use the Cricut machine at school to make greeting cards, banners, and projects for people in our community. Olivia is going to tell us about some more things that we do.
One job we have to is run a coffee shop in our class. When teacher can buy coffee, tea, or hot chocolate.
So one job we do is run a coffee shop where teachers can buy coffee, tea, or hot chocolate. Faith is going to talk a little bit more.
We every summer in the period of the school day.
So we even offer a delivery service in the early periods of the school day.
Well, repracticing, counting, money, and making change when a customer buys something. You're welcome, Ms. Fennell. Woo, woo, woo.
We also have a market expression design and coaching.
So we also have a market in the classroom with snacks and cold drinks.
Okay. Other job we do is laundry. We help wash, dye, fold, and deliver towels and bedding to your athletic team and your seniors.
So another job we do is laundry. We help wash, dry, fold, and deliver towels and bedding to the athletic trainer and the school nurse. We also have students that go out to work rotations through the Bucks County IU. Some of those job sites include Doylestown Hospital, Ivy Hill Equestrian, Landis, and I think we also have somebody out at Calvary Church right now. And then we also do some work within the school building. So we have what we just call the egg job, where a local farmer brings in his eggs and we weigh them, we clean them, we sort them. And then we also do the cricketing for district office as well. So that's basically some of the things that we do in our program. Thank you very much for supporting it.
Good job. Thank you all for sharing the great things you're doing in the classroom.
And I'll take a large black regular. Little did I know I only had to walk 10 steps. Okay. I thought Dunkin' Donuts was close. All right. Another highlight of the first month has been the professional development that's provided to our teachers and staff. I've been able to witness sessions on school safety, writing programs, classroom management, IEP writing, and successful communications. I want to take the opportunity to publicly thank Dr. Scheid, Dr. Price, Dr. Wyerka, our supervisors, and our building administrators for their hard work to help both our teachers and support staff continue to improve their work on behalf of our students. I've asked Dr. Scheid and Dr. Price tonight to provide a brief snapshot of the many opportunities we provide to both teachers and support staff. Dr. Scheid, Dr. Price, thank you.
Good evening. Dr. Price and I are happy to report out on the professional learning in Penridge School District. First of all, okay. We've been working a lot on the professional development program at Penridge for the last few years. What we really believe, and it certainly has made an impact on professional learning here, is that it should be personalized for our teachers. There should be voice and choice. Teachers should have a say in professional learning. And that's what we're going to be talking about this evening. We're going to be talking about the personalization of professional learning, and then we're going to be talking continuously about growth and improvement for not only our students, because we expect continuous improvement from our students, and we also expect continuous improvement from ourselves and our staff. So we're going to begin tonight with the beginning of the school year that Dr. Bolton has talked about with new teacher induction, and Dr. Price will lead with that.
Thank you, Dr. Scheid. And we have been busy, as in all the presenters so far this year. I wanted to start by just explaining a little bit of the difference if we get a new teacher to the district that's been teaching for several years versus a teacher that's brand new to the profession. So on the slide up here, you can see the purpose of our program is really to introduce new staff that have never taught before to the profession and to develop their bag of tricks, their skill set. But we also have that group of teachers that are new to Penridge, and so they've been through induction, but they need the new teacher orientation days. So we have those groups of teachers together at the beginning of the year for a couple sessions in August, and then the rest of the school year, it's just the group of teachers that require induction. And of course, as you'll hear from Dr. Scheid, any teacher that needs support throughout the year gets that as needed but I'm going to focus on just the new teachers here. So this really fits into our professional learning model of continuous improvement. And you'll see on the slide here a list of lots of things that are planned. These are the topics for this year. Some of these have already been completed. For instance, new staff received ALICE training, the classroom scenario piece, as well as the online training piece. They've received a session on classroom management. They've received a library and technology session. They've received some information about educator effectiveness and how the supervision looks at Penn School District. They also, in addition to all of this stuff that's happening, remember they're getting all of this above and beyond all of the professional learning that all the other staff get. So this is in addition to. They also get assigned a mentor, and the mentor is with them, logging hours and taking them, helping them through the induction program their first year at Penridge. And this program, the induction program, is also required for their Level 2 certificate. So it's one of the requirements to obtain their Level 2 certificate. In addition to all these things, this year, for the first time, probably in a long time, we've offered a bus tour. So we had a group of those new staff members go around from building to building, and we were greeted the last building by the Bedminster mascot, and also the teachers out there, so you might have saw those photos on the website. Speaking of photos, this is a good example of how we differentiate these sessions as well. And so our elementary group in the photos up here, we're receiving some technology training on applications such as Seesaw, while our secondary teachers received Canvas training. Later this year, January 31st is one of the sessions that comes to mind. We are going to, speaking of differentiating and giving people what they need, our last session, we haven't determined a topic yet, because what we want to do is get to know this group of new staff members and see what their needs are and speak with them and observe them and talk through what they need. And that's kind of what's happening right now as well. We just finished up a technology session, and we are offering one-on-one time. Again, this can happen anytime, but we're planning this to be purposeful, one-on-one, an hour with a tech integrator based on a topic of your choice. So our technology integrators are setting those appointments up, and those sessions are happening as we speak.
And I will have to say that this is the first time that we're offering that 1 hour personal learning with a technology integrator. So we'll get some feedback from our teachers where we do think that there'll be a positive impact on that. So I want to talk briefly about learning pathways. I mentioned that. When we were talking about in the curriculum office how we can meet the needs of our teachers, learning pathways was something that we talked a good deal about. What we wanted to do was not just personalize the training, although we absolutely believe that teachers should have that voice and choice. We wanted to make sure that what our teachers were learning throughout the year matched our goals, our district goals, our curriculum goals. So in ways that have become powerful, teachers have chosen paths of learning collaboratively.